Welcome to Our Seniors Radio, a nonprofit dedicated to honoring our seniors by providing relevant information on senior needs. From health, wellness, and lifestyle to residential, medical, and legal, just to name a few. Our seniors and their families are able to make educated decisions and live their best life. Find them online at OurSeniors.org as well. And yes, you can become one of our seniors. Welcome aboard.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Our Seniors Radio. Thank you. Thank you for joining us. And again, we're on every Saturday, but if you miss it, the time clock didn't go off or you didn't wake up, don't worry about it. You can always listen to the shows afterwards on our website, YouTube, Facebook, you name it, okay? And highly recommend that you tune in and check it out because every week we have a different topic and a different guest, okay? So again, thank you for joining us. We'd like to remind everyone that if you'd like to pick up a copy of the magazine, The Winter 2024 is out. You can do so by calling 386-516-3969 extension 4. And we want to remind everyone we're excited for the Lunch and Learns that are upcoming in February and March. Okay, the first one is on Wednesday, February 28th, between noon and 2 p.m., and you'll have the opportunity of meeting Dr. Q. Yes, Dr. Stephen Quinine. And the topic is going to be traveling in the body you have. Highly recommend that you reserve so that we make sure we have you down. And yes, El Fribo, okay? It is a limited menu, but the food is going to be yummy, yummy for your tummy, okay, at Red Robin. And that's at Red Robin at the Pavilion in Port Orange, okay? And then the next one after that would be Wednesday, March 27th, 2024, again, noon to 2 p.m., and we'll have the honor and privilege of having Ann Hardick, who is the area manager for Dignity Memorial. Okay, highly recommend again that you call, reserve, or visit our website and you can submit your reservation online. Okay, and as ongoing, like I mentioned earlier, we have different topics, different guests, and it's all about our seniors. Okay, giving all of our seniors information that they can use. Okay, and we are honored and privileged this morning. Okay, we have someone representing Volusia Sheriff's Office by the name of Detective Devon Barrett. So, welcome aboard.
Thank you.
All righty. Well, tell us a little bit about yourself, Devon, before we get started on the topic.
Certainly. I've been working for the Sheriff's Office for a little over 6 years. I spent 3 of those years on patrol. And the last 3 years I've spent in our CID unit, which is a detective unit. While in that unit, I worked on the persons side of it, so crimes against people. That includes every type of physical crime you can imagine, and it also includes fraud, which are persons crimes.
Excellent. It sounds like you're staying busy, to say the least.
That's for sure.
And we continue our topic here on seniors versus crime and fraud, identity theft, you name it, with everything going on, especially technology right now and social media and everything else. Explain to us, from your perspective, some of the trends that you're seeing out there.
Sure. So as you mentioned, technology is growing, and with it, fraud is extremely rapid. It's only all we can do to try to keep up with a lot of the new trends. But I put together a little bit of a list of some of the stuff that we've seen and some of the stuff that's just prevalent overall throughout the nation. One of the most prevalent, it actually makes up about 85% of all fraud, is synthetic identities. So this is going to be a little bit of like a Frankenstein fraud. Frankenstein identity theft, rather, where they are creating new identities by piecing together little parts of other people's identities. I recently had a fraud involving synthetic identities wherein they took all the personal identifying information from one person, but the account information from another person. So they were able to siphon some funds out of someone's account, but it wasn't necessarily their personal identifying information. So it kind of muddies the waters when it comes to investigations, because there's not one true victim, there's multiple victims.
Oh boy. So I guess if you do, I guess there's something going on right now on social media. I don't know if you've seen it, but there's some links that people are getting posted by third parties, and they're saying, oh, they're no longer with us, we're going to miss them. Click here to see more information. The moment you click, they can have access to a lot of your personal information.
Mm-hmm. I've not seen it, but I absolutely believe it. Any kind of clickbait is always something to be wary of.
That's the correct term, clickbait. Be careful with the links, especially if you get emails. Click here for further information. And with respect to, obviously seniors are targeted because they believe that the seniors are sitting on a lot of, moolah out there, etc. What's going on with the banking industry, and how's that affecting, the fraud there?
So there's a lot of different ways that fraudsters can get account information. They can do a complete account takeover, where they can gain access to your account online. I've seen these before with frauds where what the victim believes to be a legitimate company, AT&T, Verizon, or even their banking institution will give them a call, let them know their account has been hijacked or compromised in some capacity. So that person, the victim, will then give all their personal identifying information to the fraudster. There's even websites out there where they have, it's essentially an IT support type of website that these fraudsters will use under the guise of a legitimate company. The victim will then give that person their information and verify that they're allowed to access their devices. So now the fraudster can go into their phone and do whatever they want. They can access their account information if that's on there, any type of monetary movement like Venmo or Cash App or anything.
Oh boy. Well, and that, I believe, would be a great time to take a quick break, and we'll be right back.
Care Plus Health Plans cares about your health. That's why their Medicare Advantage plans include $0 copay for primary care visits and access to providers in their trusted provider network, like Dr. Stephen Quanning. Metro Health of Holly Hill is now open at 1852 Ridgewood Avenue in Holly Hill. With in-network providers like Dr. Stephen Quanning, who strive to provide quality care for patients, Care Plus helps connect members to the care they deserve. You can schedule a tour of Metro Health of Holly Hill Center today. Call 386-463-0522 for more information. For more information on how you can find a plan connecting you to the care you need, call a licensed Care Plus sales agent at 855-569-4558, TTY 711 to learn more. Atlantic Coast. Provider may also contract with other Plan/Part D sponsors. Other providers are available in our network.
Hey there, welcome back to OurSeniors Radio. Thank you again for joining us. A lot of these, even the credit cards, debit cards, the banks, etc., they have where you can sign up for notifications through texting, etc. That may not be a bad idea, because if somebody goes shopping on your card in your account, you want to know about them.
Absolutely. I would say that it would be in your best interest to make sure that the financial institution that you use has multi-layered fraud prevention, not just, one easy way for them to get in and get out with your money, but for you to be notified and for them to have protections against your money while in their possession.
Oh, wow. And with respect to, I know it's become very popular, and, there are all sorts of commercials, everything with crypto. What's going on with crypto?
So cryptocurrency is becoming increasingly popular. People like to invest in cryptocurrency. There's a lot of money in it. But in order to make money, you have to spend a lot of money. And a lot of people believe that. Some people dive into cryptocurrency without a lot of research or knowledge of it before they get into it. And that's where scammers and fraudsters take advantage. They offer chances to make a large sum of money, But again, you have to provide a large sum of money first. And in cryptocurrency, it moves so fast. As soon as it gets moved in there, it gets divided into as many accounts as you can possibly imagine, faster than anybody could possibly trace it. So it's possible to, but it's also very easy to lose your money quickly if you're not careful.
Wow, that is amazing. That sounds very scary. You can have a lot today and everything can be gone tomorrow.
Absolutely. I've seen tens of thousands of dollars gone in an instant.
Wow. And also give us an explanation as far as deep fakes. What is that?
So that's another new trend that's going on right now. Essentially, they're using artificial intelligence or like voice mirroring to manipulate people to make it appear as if someone, a loved one, is calling them. So a lot of time they'll get a phone call from mom saying, hey, I'm stuck on the side of the road. My phone's about to die. I need you to give me your card information real quick so I can give it to the tow truck company to change my tire. They always make it seem extremely urgent so that the people don't feel as if they have time to get off the phone. And the voice recognition that they've used in their artificial intelligence endeavors has made the victim believe for sure that this is the person that they're talking to, that they're talking to their mom because they know their mom's, vocal inflections. They can understand the urgency in their voice. So because of the emergency situation that the fraudster has created, the victim doesn't think they have time to hang up and call their actual mom to see if they're okay. So they'll just give the information over the phone. Now this person has access to their account.
Wow, it sounds like instead of the senior making a 911 call, they're receiving the 911 call.
Right.
And they're having to give the information away at a 911 level.
Certainly, we've seen it saying that their grandchildren are kidnapped and there's, some type of ransom or they're in legal trouble. They need to be bonded out quickly. And again, the voice recognition is so comparable to their actual loved one that they truly believe that person is the other one on the line.
Wow, technology is really advancing. That's a lot of information. I think that's perfect timing to take a little break, and we'll be right back.
Did you know that Metro Health clinics are dedicated primary care clinics for seniors? Metro Health treats senior patients with state-of-the-art technology and old-fashioned listen to the patient understanding. Call us now for a no-obligation tour. Interview our staff, ask questions, and learn more about Metro Health's team by calling 386-467-4430. We love and support Our Seniors Radio and Magazine. Yes, you can become one of our seniors.
Hey, welcome back to Our Seniors Radio. Thank you again for joining us. Obviously, we know that some of the largest investments we all make throughout our lifetime is in real estate, our own homes.
True.
What's going on there?
So this one has been very prevalent the entire time I've been in law enforcement. So there's a couple different ways that they'll do it. One of the more common ways is that they'll do rental scams or fake listings, wherein the fraudster will post a property for rent online and say it's a super cheap price, so everybody's really interested. Hey, it's a 4-bedroom house for $1,000 a month, and somebody's like, oh my gosh, what a deal. So they'll reach out to this person and they're like, yeah, absolutely, you can get the property. All we need is first and last month's rent and a deposit in cash. I'm sorry I can't meet you in person, but if you mail it to this address or send it through this online account, then you'll be able to have your property. Obviously, that's a scam. And these people don't know how to verify it or haven't verified it, so they want to jump on this opportunity before this really cheap rental deal goes away. They'll send somebody a few $1,000s, and then that scammer will just disappear into the abyss.
I believe we did see a special by West 2 News. They were doing one of those investigative reports, and these folks needed to move out, and they found a great deal, just like you described, and they had to send over $5,000 by the time first, last, security, this, that, you name it. And then 2 days after they moved in, they got a knock on the door saying, you have to leave. And they were there enforcing what was rightfully under the law, and it turns out that the individual that posted on social media, et cetera, they sent everything through Venmo. Everything was El Faco.
Mm-hmm. Fake documents, fake notaries, fake driver's licenses, all of it. And there's even without renting, there's a second type of fraud that we've seen a lot of, especially recently, is deed fraud. This happens a lot where a family member passes away or anybody passes away. And before whoever their beneficiaries is can move in through the process to take over the house, somebody can scoop in and essentially sell the house to themselves, utilizing fake documentation, fake notaries. And once they own the home, they can do whatever they want with it. They can rent it out, they can sell it and take in the equity, open a home equity line of credit, anything that they can quickly to make a large sum of money. And then the person who actually owns the home now has to deal with the repercussions of it.
Or in some cases, the beneficiaries. They're expecting
Correct.
to move in or inherit the home, sell it, do whatever, but all of a sudden, it has a new owner.
Right, that bought it for, $1 or something if you look at the paperwork.
Oh boy, that is crazy. And with respect to, obviously, all the big retailers, everybody, gift card, what's going on with the frauds there?
So this one is another type of impersonation type of fraud where what the victim believes to be as a legitimate person or corporation is contacting them saying that for whatever reason they owe them a large sum of money. I've seen it where they tell you, this is the FBI and you have a federal warrant for your arrest and you have to pay off a certain amount of money. They'll tell you that the only way you can pay this money back is to go get gift cards for large sums of money, again, thousands of dollars, scratch off the numbers, the PIN codes on the back, give the numbers over the phone so that now the fraudsters have that cash, essentially cash.
Wow, that is crazy.
I'd say that's probably one of the most prevalent ones that we see. We see those weekly.
Wow. And I don't mean to cut us off here, but if someone from some of these schemes and frauds that we have just discussed and you have explained, if they have any issues, who should they call? If they feel they have been victimized, who should they call first?
I think they should call law enforcement first. You don't have to have a deputy or law enforcement officer respond to your home. You can do what's called a telephone handled call and just make contact with the law enforcement officer and get their opinion and their guidance of what to do next. If something seems suspicious, hang up the phone immediately, stop with the contact that you have with this person and contact law enforcement.
Okay. And should they dial 911 or should they dial the non-emergency number?
They should definitely dial the non-emergency number. I would say 911 is preserved for in-action emergencies, obviously.
And what is a good number for them to call?
It varies depending on which jurisdiction that they're in, but if they were to research it, they can just go online and see what the non-emergency number is within their jurisdiction.
Depending on the county, city?
County, city, correct.
Okay, gotcha.
Either way, they're going to get sent to our central station. If they tell them what the non-emergency is, they can point them in the right direction.
Okay, excellent. Well, and that, I believe, would be a great time to take a quick break, and we'll be right back.
Care Plus Health Plans cares about your health. That's why their Medicare Advantage plans include $0 copay for primary care visits and access to providers in their trusted provider network, like Dr. Stephen Quanning. Metro Health of Holly Hill is now open at 1852 Ridgewood Avenue in Holly Hill. With in-network providers like Dr. Stephen Quanning, who strive to provide quality care for patients, Care Plus helps connect members to the care they deserve. You can schedule a tour of Metro Health of Holly Hill Center today. Call 386-463-0522 for more information. For more information on how you can find a plan connecting you to the care you need, call a licensed Care Plus sales agent at 855-569-4558, TTY 711 to learn more. Atlantic Coast. Provider may also contract with other Plan/Part D sponsors. Other providers are available in our network.
Hey everyone, welcome back to OurSeniors Radio. And again, we're excited because we want to give all seniors information so that they can be on the lookout, especially for all the scams going on, okay? And we're back. And again, our guest is Detective Devon Barrett. And she is very well equipped in giving all of us information on all the different schemes. And this is just touching, scratching the surface, because they come up with new schemes every day. So, and some of the seniors may be looking for a part-time job, etc. Are there any fake posts out there?
There are. So especially because of COVID, the work from home job industry kind of blew up. So everybody had a need to work from home, and remote jobs were in really high demand. Because of that, fraudsters have taken to creating fake jobs to try to get more personal identifying information and or money from potential employees. So one of them that I personally have dealt with is that they'll use a job as almost like a mule job. So they'll have stolen goods that they've gotten through various means, either fraud or physical theft, where this work from home individual is hired to move these items. So they'll be shipped to them. The people at home put them in separate boxes with separate packaging labels, take them to UPS and send them somewhere else. Usually these things end up overseas. The one that I worked with specifically, this gentleman was a legitimate, employee. He thought he was working with a legitimate business. He gets emails that have, business stamps on it, and everything looks very legitimate. He gave them some of his personal identifying information, and he also gave them some money for a startup. So to send him equipment or to show good faith, I assume. He worked there for about 3 weeks until we caught on. We were notified of one of the thefts, or however it was reported to us. And of course we went to him because he walked right into the UPS store, unbeknownst to him that he was, working within a crime and corporation. So we went straight to him, and he said he'd never been paid. And when he had been trying to reach out to this company to figure out what was going on with his payment, they completely ghosted him. The website no longer existed, and all he had was these emails.
Oh boy, that sounds like artificial intelligence technology is taking over, huh?
Correct. Yeah, it seems to me the overwhelming message from all of these frauds is that they like to muddy the waters a lot and add a lot of different moving parts to a fraud so that it's harder for us to go directly to the person responsible.
Using mules out there, huh?
Correct.
Oh boy. And what about, you see all these specials, everything, you can buy it here for 80% off, this, that. What's going on with those kind of scams?
So there's something called overpayment scams, and they can come in a lot of different forms. So a couple of them that we've seen is letting you know that you've won something big, a nice car, a brand new car that's on its way to you. Congratulations. But you have to send us a check first for whatever it is, for the title of the vehicle or for a down payment on the vehicle, but we'll pay you back when the vehicle's delivered to you. Another one is you meet somebody online. That's something that happens a whole lot, is I want to meet you, but I need you to pay me a certain amount of money, or I'm going to send you money. Oops, I paid you too much. I need you to send me $8,000 back. When the person looks at their account, they see, oh my gosh, they sent me $10,000, but they were only supposed to send me however much. So they send them the money back that they thought that they overpaid them. Well, now that check or that deposit that they've made into their account disappears because it was fraudulent, yet they're still out the money that they sent before.
Oh boy. Oh boy. Anytime you hear, hey, I'm going to send you this, but send me this back, that's red flag, huh?
If it's too good to be true, it's not true.
Thank you. That's definitely a quote that needs to go out. So give us an overview, though, with everything going on, how can the seniors or anybody listening to the show protect themselves?
I would say listening to the show, first and foremost, is a good starting point. You need to stay informed on what's going on in the industry, excuse me, what the trends are, what could potentially be a fraud, what looks like fraud, so that way you can be prepared that if it does happen to you, that you don't fall for it. Again, these fraudsters like to rely on emotion. So they'll use something personal to you, or they'll give you an exigent circumstance where you think you have a lot of pressure or something bad is going to happen. So they use emotion and fear to intimidate you. But if you already are prepared for what it could be, hopefully you can think a little bit more logically and avoid being a victim of fraud.
No, most definitely. And with respect to emails, passwords, etc., what can they do to keep these critters from getting in there?
Make sure that you protect your passwords. Don't use the same passwords for various accounts or devices. Don't write them down anywhere that's accessible. Don't put them in your notes in your phone where somebody could access them. Don't use anything that's too easy. Don't use your maiden name and your birthday or something somebody could look up very easily if they were to just search you for a few minutes.
That's very true. And what about all of a sudden, they're getting used to the internet, they set up an email account, and all of a sudden they get an email and, the information says, hey, this is important. For more information, click here.
I would say don't use any websites that you haven't ensured are valid. Look for clues. I've seen a lot of these, especially in cryptocurrency. They'll have websites that seem like legitimate investments, but when you really look into it, various words are spelled incorrectly. It's just not a legitimate website. There's no one that you can actually speak with. If you try to contact them, if you try to call the number, it never goes to an actual person. These are just blanket websites that they use for you to start clicking, and now they can access your stuff. So be wary online. I don't want to fearmonger, but don't click on everything that you see. Be careful what you do click on, and unless you're extremely sure of what you're into, don't ever enter your personal information on a website.
Okay, and I can imagine that identity theft is on the rise as well, isn't it?
It is, yes, absolutely.
And what can they do to make sure that they're checking up on things or taking action to make sure that nobody's using their accounts, their credit cards? What are some suggestions there?
I would say just maintain your working knowledge of your accounts. Stay up to date on your bank account, your credit card account. Make sure you're checking your credit score to see if there's any changes. If there's availability of fraud protection in any facet and anything that you're using, always take it for these institutions to protect your assets and your money. But especially just being in the know of what you have and what you can maintain, making sure that nobody else has tampered with it.
Gotcha. And give us some numbers depending on the cities where they may live and they may be listening and they get into suspicious activities. What numbers can they call to get these issues reported?
So there's a few non-emergency numbers for the Volusia Sheriff's Office that you can contact depending on where you live. So if you live in the DeLand area, the non-emergency number is 386-943-8276. If you live in the Daytona Beach area, the number is 386-239-8276. The New Smyrna area is 386-409-8276. And in the Osteen area, it's 407-323-0151.
Excellent. And folks, please stay alert. Be aware of what's going on, okay? There are so many scams going on, and they've become seasonal. Be careful as we approach. We were just told that there's Valentine scams, that they send you an email, a notification, hey, I'd like to go on a date, but, sign up here, and all of a sudden you get all these suspicious emails, everything else. So stay alert, folks, and please support our law enforcement to help them get the job done, okay? We thank you so much, Detective Barrett, for joining us today.
Of course, thank you.
And we'll be back again next week. Thank you.
Thanks for listening to Our Seniors Radio. Don't forget to check out OurSeniors.net magazine and tune in every Saturday at 8 a.m. on WNDB. Help support the nonprofit, which is OurSeniors.org, or call 800-647-0868.